Making your own ice cream gives you complete control over flavorings and ingredients, and often it's more delicious than store-bought. An ice cream maker lets you turn whatever kind of ice cream you like, all in the comfort of your own home. But how do you decide on a model? We've rounded up some of the most popular ice cream makers, including fully automatic, electric, and soft serve options, and tested them side by side. Each ice cream maker was assessed on the ease of use, design, the texture of the ice cream, the mix-in distribution, ease of cleaning, and overall value to bring you only the best of the best. We have listed the top 6 ice cream makers and their key features, plus the things you need to consider to help you choose the best one for you. Links to all products mentioned in the video are in the description below. You can also find a more detailed analysis and a comparison tool on our website, validconsumer.com. Number 6. Cuisinart Ice 70-watt Cool Creations Ice Cream Maker. The Ice 70 makes a whopping 2 quarts of ice cream per batch and has a simple control panel with an LED screen that's easy to read. There are settings for ice cream, gelato, or sorbet, which control the speed of the mixing paddle. The time is automatically set for each option, but can be adjusted manually as well. When time is up, the machine automatically shuts off. The unique gelato setting was a standout for us due to its slower churn, one of the hallmarks of genuine gelato. In testing, the Cuisinart outperformed similar freezer bowl models by a wide margin. It was incredibly easy to set up once the bowl was frozen, and it created velvety smooth ice cream. The lid has a removable cup for measuring up to half cup of add-ins, and when the cup is removed, there's a handy hole for pouring those ingredients into the ice cream. We liked being able to mix items in without removing the lid, and the upright compact design made this easy to store. It is lightweight enough to move around the kitchen. This machine's paddle was also a standout. When we mixed M&Ms into a batch of ice cream, they became evenly distributed through the mix. The paddle and freezer bowl were both simple to wash by hand with warm, soapy water. One downside of this ice cream maker is that it can be loud during churning. Another is the 2-quart freezer bowl should be refrigerated overnight for best results, so you can't make an ice cream on a whim. We suggest storing it in your freezer so it's ready to go whenever you have that ice cream craving. Number 5. Breville Smart Scoop Ice Cream Compressor. If you're ready to get serious about making ice cream, this Breville ice cream maker has quite a few benefits that justify its steep price tag. The 1.1 quart ice cream maker contains a compressor, just like a window air conditioner, and freezes the ice cream while it churns. This means you don't have to worry about freezing and refreezing a bowl between batches. It also has 12 specifically calibrated settings for different levels of softness, so you won't end up with a rock-hard sherbet, gelato, or soft serve when what you really want is a scoop of vanilla that will hold its own in a root beer float. A pre-cool setting preps the machine to start churning immediately, and internal thermometers make sure the temperature stays just right. We particularly liked the softer to harden option, which lets you choose softer ice cream or harder sorbet instead of a one-size-fits-all setting. One downside is that there isn't a slow churn setting for gelato. During our tests, this produced fluffy ice cream every time. The lid has a finger loop for easy opening and closing, which made adding mix-ins super simple, and were all evenly distributed. Though this is a heavy compressor countertop machine, cleanup is easy. The bowl and paddle are removable with no little crevices to wipe down. Keep in mind that this investment piece takes up a lot of room, so it might not be ideal for those with small kitchens. Number 4. Winter IMC 200 LS. The Winter IMC 200 LS is one of our all-time favorite ice cream makers. This appliance can create gelato or ice cream in as little as 35 minutes. Freezing the bowl or chilling ingredients isn't required, which is great when you get the impulsive urge to make ice cream since there's no planning involved. This machine is convenient, easy to use, and produces all-round excellent frozen treats. The bowl is simple to clean, especially since you don't need to wait for it to thaw like its freezer bowl counterparts. and has 3 different operating modes so you can fine-tune your frozen treats' consistency. The downside is this machine is relatively large and somewhat pricey. It's a good idea to consider how often you might actually use it to determine if it's worth the investment, both in cost and countertop real estate. Additionally, we weren't too impressed with its overall build quality. The first one we ordered arrived broken and leaking, leaving us no choice but to immediately exchange it. Like most compressor powered machines, the Winter IMC 200LS doesn't take too kindly to being stored inverted for long periods. However, we still think this is an excellent all-around machine for the serious home ice cream maker, but it might be a little more machine than the occasional user needs. Number 3. Cuisinart Ice 100. We found the Cuisinart Ice 100 to be one of the best of the group when it came to frozen yogurt, creating a thick and creamy confection that, given how quickly our judges finished their bowls, must have been enjoyed immensely. The gelato was silky smooth and delicious, and the ice cream was thick enough that it held a scoop shape without additional freezing. It is relatively easy to use. The machine stops on its own once the correct consistency is churned, and reliably made excellent ice cream. Like the Winter IMC 200LS, storing the Cuisine Ice 100 can be a bit of a hassle, as it is a decently large kitchen appliance. We also found that many standard recipes would cause the bowl to overflow a bit, making cleanup more of a hassle. The inspection door to add mix-ins or check consistency also dips into the ice cream when you lift it, and the paddle has plenty of nooks and crannies to catch ice cream in, creating even more cleanup work. Number 2. Cuisinart 1.5 quart frozen yogurt Ice 21P1. During our taste tests, the Cuisinart Ice 21 made one of the smoothest ice creams, with only a little iciness, beating out machines that cost hundreds of dollars more. The Cuisinart Ice 21 is incredibly easy to use, although you do have to pre-freeze the mixing bowl overnight. It requires a little bit of planning before you can start churning, but once your base is made and the bowl is frozen, making ice cream is a breeze. Simply assemble the bowl, paddle and lid, pour in your base, and turn the machine's single switch into the on position. While the Ice 21 is running, it's loud enough that if your kitchen is adjacent to your living room, you won't be able to turn it on while you're watching a movie without really cranking up the TV. But while it was one of the loudest machines that we tested, it also churned ice cream faster than many of its competitors. It only took about 15 minutes for both of the recipes we tested. So you won't have to suffer through the noise for too long. When mixing, we also noticed the Ice 21 created some of the least ice cream buildup out of the machines we tested, especially among the non-compressor options. Many makers left a layer of ice cream stuck to the side of the bowl, and while this was still scoopable, it was a lot icier than the creamy concoction that consistently passed through the paddle. Once your ice cream is done, you won't be able to reuse the frozen bowl immediately, since it'll have to be warmed up quite a bit. So if you want to make back-to-back batches, you'll need to purchase an additional bowl and freeze them both the night before. Cleaning the Ice 21 was not as difficult as the other makers. None of the bowls we tested were dishwasher safe, so we washed each one by hand to see how hard or annoying it was to clean all the nooks and crannies. Most bowls have a vertical tube right in the middle where you attach a paddle, which makes scrubbing the bottom of the bowl a little difficult. You can clean the bowl pretty well with a sponge despite this, but you'll still have to use a bottle brush to adequately clean the inside of the tube, which is an additional pain. The Cuisinart bowls that you have to pre-freeze don't have this obstacle, which makes scrubbing them squeaky clean a much less troublesome task. If you want a reliable, easy to use and inexpensive ice cream machine, there's no other option that can beat out the Cuisine Ice 21. For just $70 and a little planning, you can make deliciously creamy and rich desserts time and time again, just as well as higher end models. Number 1. Winter IMC 201 SB Upright Automatic Ice Cream Maker. Compressor ice cream machines are more expensive than non-compressor models, since they have a built-in refrigeration unit. But if you're making ice cream on a regular basis, they can be worth the splurge. Constantly freezing bowls can take a lot of foresight and, more importantly, freezer space. So, if you want to make an ice cream frequently or experiment with flavors all the time, compressor models can save you a lot of time and effort. Out of all the compressor machines we tested, the Winter IMC 201SB upright automatic ice cream maker was by far the best. This ice cream maker was not only amazingly simple to use, but it also churned out the smoothest ice cream out of all the machines we tested, with barely any icy buildup on the sides of the bowl. Plus, the Winter's upright configuration means that it takes up a lot less space on your counter than other compressor models. In fact, it only took up a bit more room than most of the non-compressor models, which is quite amazing since the Winter has a full freezing system inside of it. The machine's design was a lot different than the other compressor models we tested, upright with a shallow and wide bowl, where the others are tall and narrow. It was both easier to clean and a dream to scoop out of. The Winter's bowl still has the annoying tube in the middle, unlike the Cuisinart Ice 21, but with more room around it, cleaning the protrusion was much less of a pain. The Winter IMC 201SB upright machine was heavy, like all compressor models we tested, so you should probably keep it stored in a lower cabinet to avoid any overhead lifting. However, when we turned the machine on, we were amazed by how quiet it ran. All the other ice cream makers made a decent amount of noise, some, like the Cuisinart, made much more than others, so when the Winter let out a low and quiet hum, somewhat similar to an efficient dishwasher, we were thoroughly impressed. You can easily have this machine going in the background while you work, talk, or even watch TV in the same room without it being a huge distraction, which was a big win in our book. It was relatively speedy too, taking 25 minutes to churn out a batch of dairy ice cream and 35 minutes for a vegan recipe. While the Winter IMC 201SB upright automatic ice cream maker is definitely a bigger investment than the Cuisinart, the convenience factor of this machine beats out everything else we tried. It saves you the hassle of freezing a bowl and, unlike other compressor models, isn't enormous and is easy to scoop out of and super quiet. If you want the convenience of a compressor ice cream maker, the Winter IMC 201SB is absolutely the one to get. So that wraps up our list of the best ice cream makers. Hope you found this video helpful, and if so, please leave a thumbs up, as I always appreciate that. Let us know in the comments down below which ice cream maker you are going to choose. Thanks for watching, and that's all for this video. If you like this video and it helped you in any way, please get this video a like. And if you don't want to miss out on any future videos, subscribe to the channel. Hope to see you in the next video. Till next time, see you guys later.